So late yesterday, man, we had some brand new WWE action figure news dropped on us, and this is kind of unique, but I think we've seen some things like this in the past, but nonetheless, man, Smith's UK, or Smith's store over there, the big toy store, man, every time somebody posts up figure images of this store, it's like Toys R Us on crack, man. It's absolutely ridiculous at all the figures they have, but Smith's in the UK, I think, is where it's based off. If I'm saying anything incorrect, please correct me down below, but this store has almost every WWE action figure you can imagine, man. It's absolutely insane. They get all the exclusives. It's crazy. It's just a crazy store. Every time people share images over there, I'm always jealous that it doesn't exist here. But nonetheless, Smith's UK, they posted up on their website images of the new Ultimate Edition Series 31 Chelsea Green figure. Now, as we know, the next gallery should be posted very soon. I thought it would be posted today. I don't think it's going to be coming today. If I get any updates on that, of course, we're going to do a new news update gallery video of news where we'll break down every figure. But we do have the Chelsea Green figure, and the Chelsea Green figure got a lot of mixed reactions, and I wanted to talk about it because I don't know, let's just get into it, man. As we can see, we have Chelsea Green here. Now, we do remember the images from Toy Fair. This figure was on display, but it seemed like a lot of the images didn't really give you everything, right? We usually wait on the professional gallery to kind of dub our thoughts. Now, of course, a figure can look one way in images, it can look one way on display at Comic-Con, and then you get the figure in hand and it looked completely different. That has definitely happened in my entire experience of collecting and running this channel and doing reviews, but, you know, we didn't get the best images at New York Toy Fair. Well, we finally have the professional images here, and people were not happy about this figure, man. It was kind of crazy, but Smith's UK, I say that because they put it up, and it was the only image that we had, or the only figure from that set. So we don't have John Cena, we don't have Randy Orton, but Smith's put it up on their website, and, you know, word kind of got around, and then I posted them on Instagram, and people were not too happy with it. Let's just take a look at some of these comments after we get into what my thoughts are. So I guess I can give you my thoughts first, and then we can look at some of these comments here and just break down what people were saying about this figure. But looking at it here, man, I think that the figure looks pretty good. I like it. I think that, you know, I think she does have that same Tiffany Stratton torso where it goes down into the crotch piece, so that the ab crunch is going to be really good. You know, we've seen this on Tiffany Stratton, we've seen this on China, we've seen this on Rhea Ripley. I cannot wait to see which talent they do first for the men's figures, because I think it's going to be a really big deal. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Roman Reigns or Cody or somebody like that, but I don't know. Sometimes they just drop it on you on a whim. If you guys remember way back in the day, V1 Matt Hardy was the first figure to have interchangeable hands, so, you know, it could be a random talent, which would be fine with me, but I'm excited to see where they implement that. But this Chelsea Green figure does have that going on for it. It has 3 interchangeable head sculpts. She has the Chelsea white gear. You guys know I love white gear. Now, one thing you could do, which I think would be really cool, is if you don't like the Chelsea Green attire, if you know, maybe you can remove all of the Chelsea Green head sculpts or the faces off of this attire and make an all-white attire. Maybe that's something you can do. But let's get into the figure and the main issue that people are having. People are not liking the head sculpts, man. I mean, she does come with her hat. She comes with the shush hands. She has her little train dress deal that comes off the back. But the head sculpts, people did not like these head sculpts. I guess let's just go one by one. The smiling head sculpt. I think that the smiling head sculpt, the likeness is there. I think the likeness is there. I don't hate this head sculpt. This probably is my favorite of the 3. But, you know, you can see her face there. It looks like her eyes may be a little wide, but I don't hate this head sculpt. I think it does look like the character, and I think once you put all of the different accessories on there, especially the one with the hat on, I think it looks pretty good, man. I think it looks like Chelsea Green, and I'm going to bring up some side-by-sides to the best of my ability so we can really break this down. But I don't hate that. I think this looks good. I like the way the hair sits. I think the smiling one looks like her. I think it looks like her, and I think it looks a lot better than her Elite figure we got. You know, we got the Elite, we got the Chase, and that wasn't a bad figure. I just thought the head sculpts were a bit miss. I thought that they didn't really do her justice. But then we have this head sculpt that's kind of making a meme-style face. You know, Mattel loves their goofy head sculpts, man. We talk about it all the time, and a lot of people are saying this looks like Amanda Bynes. I can see that. I can see where you would say this looks like Amanda Bynes, 100%. It does kind of look like classic Amanda Bynes, man. Now, I know a lot of you watching this video may not know who Amanda Bynes was, but man, Amanda Bynes was on top of the world in the late 90s, early 2000s, man. The Amanda Show was absolute god-tier comedy. To this day, it lives on. It's such a damn good show. Nonetheless, it does definitely look like Amanda Bynes. It does look like Amanda Bynes to me, but I think it still kind of holds some Chelsea Green likeness. It's not my favorite head sculpt. It's probably my least favorite of the 3, but I don't think that it looks nothing like her. I don't hate it. And I didn't really look at any of these head sculpts and absolutely despise them. Of course, maybe I'll get it in hand and not like it, but I don't despise these head sculpts. I think there is some decent likeness to all of them, but you get into the last head sculpt, which is the yelling head sculpt, and the only thing about this head sculpt that kind of bothers me is it looks like it kind of sits a little low on the neck of the figure. Now, it could just be this image. It just looks like it sits low to me, but getting in there, people, I think, were talking about the forehead of the figure, or that the expression was weird. I don't know. I don't hate this head sculpt either. Is it a little goofy? Yeah, I guess, but Chelsea Green's character and humor is, she's a bit of a goofball herself in her character. That's kind of what her character kind of portrays, and I think you kind of get that with this figure, right? Her figure here kind of expresses what her character has, so I don't know. I don't hate these head sculpts. I don't think they're the best thing ever, but I don't think they're bad. I think the smiling head sculpt is probably the one that I would like the most. I think it probably holds the best likeness to the character, and I think that the figure does look pretty posable. When you take into consideration it's going to have the drop down hips, double jointed knees. It's got the new articulation in the torso, which is way better than it previously was. But let's get into some of these comments, man, because they were not having it. They were not having it. It says, how did they manage to mess up every single scan? They all look uncanny valley. We have another one here. Those alternate heads are an all-time fumble. Like, how did they make it to production that bad? So, and that has 34 likes. So a lot of people just are not feeling these head sculpts, and I can understand where they're coming from to a certain extent, but I don't think they're just straight up egregious. I don't know. I'm just not, and I'm usually, you guys know that, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people get on here and say that I'm so negative, or that, what do you like? I'm always the one that talks about figures, but on this figure specifically, I am not having a lot of those issues. Now, of course, things can change when we get them in hand and, things like that, but for the most part, I don't know. Here it says, I love it, but now I am constantly burdened by what quality control issues I will almost guarantee to find. That's 100% true. Shout out to Joker's Laughing Fish. I talk to him every year at Comic-Con, and dude's just a joy to be around. He's a great collector out there. This is another thing. A lot of people were saying this. Very disappointed she does not come with the Women's United States Championship, but regardless, a definite buy. So I see a lot of this where people are saying, why doesn't it come with the U.S. title? Why doesn't it come with the U.S. title? And I understand that 100%, and that's completely valid, but I don't know, Mattel makes a lot of those, not mistakes, but they make a lot of those decisions too, where, they will, like Cody Rhodes, none of his elites have ever had the Undisputed Championship. We've only gotten one Cody Rhodes figure, besides maybe a battle pack or two, that include the championship, and even on his big Mattel exclusive 2-pack with Brandy with a skull mask and this hyped Ultimate Edition with special edition packaging, and it's this big time exclusive, we didn't even get the championship with that, and he won it, and it was the big moment where he won the championship. So, I don't know, but it wasn't advertised, and we've known about this for a very long time. It was never advertised with the championship. Now, of course, that would have been fantastic, but we've known about this figure since Comic-Con, I think. May have been before that. We got the grayed out render, and we knew about it, but that was kind of just showcasing the likeness and the head sculpts. But as far as the actual, I think it was WrestleMania last year where we saw the grayed out prototype render, if I'm not mistaken. And then at Comic-Con, we got to see a full render, and it was never advertised with the championship. Now, it is coming in that Cactus Jack 2-pack, which kind of gives, it is a business, so they're trying to get you to buy both, which I understand. But they're going to include the U.S. Championship eventually. I just don't know where. And obviously, this would have upgraded it. And it doesn't come with a whole lot for an Ultimate Edition. I do agree with that, but I feel like a lot of the women's figures don't get as many accessories, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. The Rhea Ripley didn't come with a championship. She only got, 2 heads, a mask. This one, you get 3 heads, a hat, you get that train. Rhea also had that entrance vest. So, I don't know. A lot of the women's Ultimates don't get a whole ton of accessories, it seems like. I think on the Tiffany Stratton, you got was it 2 head sculpts or 3 head sculpts, and then you got the Money in the Bank? I hope I may be leaving off some accessories there, but I don't know. It does seem like women's Ultimate Editions don't get as many accessories. At least that's what it seems like, and maybe it's because there's more sculpting involved, and they usually have these really elaborate gears with a lot of unique sculpts instead of just Cody Rhodes tights, or just another repaint Roman Reigns, or whatever the case is there. So I'm not entirely sure on that entire front. But her alternate face scan, I'm so sorry, but good lord, her face looks like Amanda Bynes. It definitely, I can see where people said that. I could see that 100%. Worst head scan of all time. I don't know about that, man. There are some damn bad. This definitely is not up there with the worst head sculpts of all time. Right here, you have the duality of man. You have one guy saying face scan is not even close, and the next comment, I hate the ring gear with one leg, but the head scans are 10 out of 10, though. No U.S. title is shish. So there you go. You got one person saying that it's not even close, and then you have one person saying it looks just like her. So I think isn't that collecting, man? Isn't that collecting? I swear, that's pretty much what it is, man. man. But I wanted to get on here and talk about this. I think that the Chelsea Green figure looks pretty good. I think that it looks pretty good. I do not hate this figure whatsoever. I'm excited to get it. Been waiting on an updated or a better version of Chelsea Green. I felt like her Elite figure, while not bad, I felt like it was lacking a little bit in the head sculpt. I didn't feel that it really captured her likeness. I think the smiling scan on here looks pretty good, and hopefully editing this video, I don't change my mind when I put them up next to each other, but I'm going to do my best to kind of showcase it a little bit, but figure still looks like it's going to pose well. I think that we have a pretty solid Ultimate Edition right here, and who knows, it could be one of the better Ultimates or women's figures that we get this entire year. As we know, is she going to make it onto the best Ultimate shelf in preparation for that top, that top spot? We'll see, but I want to know what you guys think about this Chelsea Green down in the comment section, but it seemed that a lot of people were pretty upset about it, at least. But regardless, man, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for me. Before we get out of here, let's get into our random comment shout out. And our random comment shout out is going to go to Mark A. J4G. That was a mouthful, by God. Cena WrestleMania 23 not winning is still heartbreaking. I refuse to believe this vote was not rigged, like for real. And he's talking about our video yesterday. We ranked every Ultimate Edition from the WWE Fan Takeover line, and we took all 10 of them and we ranked them from worst to best in yesterday's video. Very fun video. You guys know I love doing rankings and stuff, and so this was a great comment because God, dude, I would have loved to seen the WrestleMania 23 Cena redone in Ultimate form. It would have been so damn good, and I wanted it to win the poll so bad, but people just wanted that damn Doctor of Thugonomics, man, even though it was going to be inaccurate. I begged people online that didn't care. They said, F that, Brad, I'm voting for the WrestleMania 20, and that's what we got, and by God, it's not a bad figure, but it ain't all that, man. It ain't what WrestleMania 23 Ultimate Cena would have been, by God. But now, if they redo the figure, now this is what's good. If they change it and want to do a WrestleMania 23 now, we get the good Cena torso, the new torso coming on the heel Cena, that's coming on the last final match Cena, and everything like that, man. I don't know. Maybe we lucked out. Maybe we get the best of both worlds there. But anyways, man, that is going to wrap it up for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.